Good everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing day. So today, what I'm going to do, I won't be talking about Salesforce in general, but I would like to talk about something called Chat GPT. You might have heard, you might have read about it. It's been on news for a while. I mean, everyone talking about it. It's like a new kid in the town. Everyone, like a new popular kid in the town, right? So what I'm gonna do today, right? I'm gonna walk you through some of the capabilities using which you can make your life better when you're working with Salesforce. So what I'm gonna do, I will show you a few scenarios which you can use this tool, and it's free. You can. That's interesting. Okay, let me. That's interesting. Just a second. New chat. All right, let me see if I can do something about it. Okay, what I'll do, I will say create a formula field to calculate leap year in Salesforce, right? There you go. It's doing the job for you, right? So now it also gives you the explanation what it's trying to do, which is pretty cool in my opinion. I'm not saying that this is 100% accurate with the result it generates, but it does makes the life of a developer or a consultant easier when he wants to do something complex or not super complex, because I believe behind the scene they might be using the neural net and it's learning as you try to do stuff with it. So I guess it's still not up to the mark when it comes to super complex stuff, but for simple things, right? It does the job pretty well. Let's do another example, right? LWC, LWC code in Salesforce to update account object. Let's see how it works. There you go. See, it does the job for you. If you're looking for a code snippet, right? Instead of going to Google and say, "Hey, give me this code," you can just use the chat uh, this pretty software, and there you go. In less than like what, 10 seconds, you got your code ready. How cool is that, right? Now, you must be thinking, right? This is not really great because I might lose my job. Well, if you remember, maybe you won't, because even I don't remember it, because during my dad's time, uh, typewriters were used to be quite popular, right? And when typewriters got replaced with computers, uh, you know, people were very worried that, oh, we're going to lose our jobs. Yeah, they did lose from that point of view, but look at where we are today, right? Computers have created lots of opportunities for for lots of people, right? You can work from home. You don't have to really, get into construction if you are someone who's not very physically fit. You can, or for an IT profession. I mean, if you're an introvert like me, you don't want to interact much with the people. You can, work from home. So thanks to the computers, right? There's a lot of things we can do. We can process, satellites. We can do a lot of things, right? So as a civilization, we are moving forward, and I believe that artificial intelligence, right, will not replace humans. In fact, it will help us to do the stuff, right? Think about this way, right? If you have this tool in place, as a developer or as a consultant, your life will get much easier so that you can focus on the stuff which is really important, right? Instead of doing a tiny, minimalistic administrative task, you can work on complex projects. You can work on stuff which really excites you at the end of the day, right? I don't like admin stuff; it's very boring. So this tool does a pretty good job. And now, um, this is let's look at the code, right? There you go. You got a code snippet, and it's pretty cool, right? So it even created the error scenario for you as well. So which is fantastic. So if you're someone who wants to build a prototype, you can use this tool. Uh, Now you must be thinking, oh, we can use this tool all the time, right? For now, this is in the beta phase, right? So I guess it's free at this stage, but maybe in the future for edge case scenarios or super complex scenario, um, they might charge you to use this product. Another example, let's say if you wanted to work on a different programming language, let's say create neural net code in which language you want. Okay, pick any language. Let's say which language we choose, right? I don't want to use in Java. I don't want to use C sharp. I don't want to use something interesting, right? Okay, in C uh, programming. Okay, let's see C, right? In C. Okay. Now, if you're after a prototype, there you go. So it's creating a code for you. I mean, I used to program in C back in the days. I really enjoyed working with C, and I do understand that today's uh, generations, right? Someone I'm saying when I talk about today's generation, like someone early 20s, right? I'm 40, so for me, 20s are a pretty different generations. So they kind of get scared using pointers. So uh, when I was doing engineering, computer science, we used to do a lot of C stuff, right? We used to talk to because I need to write a code to talk to the machines, underlying machines. So I've used a lot of C back in the day. Um, so for me, C programming is a pretty amazing programming language. So this tool doing something of this sort using this language is really mind blowing to me, right? So now, as you can see, it's building a tool. It's building a code for me in less than like 20 seconds. So I got my personal assistant. So this is my personal assistant writing a code for me. How cool is that, right? So there you go. So you got a code. Fantastic, right? Now let's build another scenario. Uh, Create a tic tac toe program in Delphi. Okay, programming language. So he's doing something for you behind the scene. Delphi, it runs on Object Pascal. So it's a pretty beautiful language. I've used Delphi as well in the past. So most of you, if you never heard about Delphi, there is a free version for it. I guess it's Lazarus. It does the Object Pascal stuff, right? So I know it's not a very popular language, unfortunately, but something. It gave you an instruction what you can do with it. So it's pretty cool, right? Good for someone to start, right? So, or if you're someone optimize uh, a SQL query, okay, optimize a SQL query. So it's an open-ended question, but let's see what you get. Kind of give you the best practice, right? And let me ask some stupid questions as well at the same time, right? Let's see whether it respond or not. Let's say, what can I eat for dinner, right? I know it sounds like a silly question, but because to be honest, I really don't know what should I eat for dinner tonight. So let me ask the software itself. Um, what can I eat for grilled chicken? No, I'm not a fan of chicken much. Spaghetti meatballs, yeah, that sounds good. Uh, Stir fry, I don't like fried food. Uh, Tacos sounds good. Yeah, it's not too bad, right? I mean, It just give you an option to do. I mean, this is I do understand that when I started this video today, I said it's mostly for Salesforce. I do understand that, and my apologies. I kind of extended to something else, but from a Salesforce perspective, you can do a lot of stuff, right? Okay, let's do some Salesforce stuff. Um, write an Apex code in Salesforce to consume an API, right? There you go. That's pretty cool, right? And let's see if we can write the test class. Okay, so because sometimes people, if you're a functional consultant not very comfortable writing test class, use this tool, right? It will help you to do that. Let's do something. Okay, let's write an Apex for account object, right? There you go. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? You see, now if you're a functional consultant and struggling to write an Apex, so there you go. You can use this tool. I'll help you. Now, I was having a discussion with one of my mates today, and I said, mate, you know, the companies might say, hey, why do we need a Salesforce consultant, right? Some companies might say that. I mean, with all due respect, there might be companies out there who say, hey, why do we need, consultants, junior people when we can use this tool and we can, use um, train somebody else, right? Why do we need to pay someone so much of money? You might get asked these kind of questions. It might be there is a very huge possibility that the companies might say, "Hey, we don't need much resource. We can use artificial intelligence." There might be a possibility you might see lots of layoffs going to happen. I'm not denying it. It might happen. Like Amazon laid off a lot of people, and there was a report that they might wanted to replace it with artificial intelligence software. But in spite of all of this, right, you still need people who can architect stuff. We still need people who needs to engineer, stuff around artificial intelligence. We will still need people who might need to test it, right? We still need people who might needs to write a business scenario for it. So it's a new dimension altogether, right? We might be experiencing an AI revolution where you will see lots of things getting created, right? The only advice I have to tell you guys that if you're a programmer, right, stop calling yourself as a C# programmer or a Java programmer. You're a programmer. You should be in a state where you should be able to pick up any technology on this planet and start coding, right? Yeah, you might take some days to learn, but you should be in that state of mind. Gone with those days where you can say, "Hey, I'm a Java programmer. I'm a C# programmer." We're not going to have those luxuries anymore going forward, perhaps in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, right? So your job, if you're a programmer, your job is to code. You're trained to code. It doesn't matter what language, right? That's how we're gonna head towards, right? You may not like what I'm saying, but but that's the way I look at it, right? Like, I don't, I not only work with Salesforce, right? I work with artificial intelligence a lot, right? One of my theses in my uni was a neural network. That was many years ago, and I've been doing neural network ever since, right? That's something I've been building my own. The product, which is still in the pipeline, building it's going well. Um, we are planning to partner with Elon Musk for Neuralink in the future. I will give you an update on that perhaps next year. That's something I have in place. So we're building on that. And Salesforce is just something I do because I love it. I don't do Salesforce for the sake of money. Because that just I've been doing Salesforce. I get paid anyways quite well where I work, so I don't. these days, I don't do just for the sake of money because it's pointless, right? At the end of the day, it's not only about money, it's about the satisfaction, an opportunity for you to build something. And I've actually felt that, when I've been a part of New Zealand, COVID project, where I get a chance to build a scalable system where I can see it in life happening, right? When the people are entering New Zealand and the software, how it can scale to care for a large number of people. So that really inspired me, to, still continue with the Salesforce, right? Had it not been the case, I would have learned Salesforce, to be honest, because it's just a SaaS tool, right? Nothing big. There's no big deal about it. Anyone can learn it. It's pretty simple. So coming to that question, when I said it's pretty simple, how do I learn Salesforce? So instead of asking Google, you can pretty much ask this software. How to learn Salesforce, right? So it's pretty cool. Mm, nice. Pretty comprehensive. I can use Salesforce, user groups, online communities, books and online tutorials. Pretty cool, right? So, and how do I find job in New Zealand Salesforce market, right? Let's see. You see? So instead of, doing a query search, you can just might as well use the software, right? So this will give you some idea. And, I only advice I have for the people who are a young generation, right? Just don't be lazy, right? Just do your damn research. I mean, I've seen people asking very freaking simple questions. It just kind of annoys me. I sometimes wonder, do these people even interested in the career to begin with, right? If you start asking very basic questions without doing a research, that sends out a signal that you're not serious whatsoever, right? You're just here to muck around. And people don't like who likes to muck around. Companies don't have patience, right? Because if you are not serious to take an initiative, you're just another liability to an organization. And companies in the process of making money, they're not in the process of doing charity. Even if you're doing non-profit, they want someone who can does the job, right? So find different ways, use the software. It's free. Play around with it, right? You can spend a whole day asking all questions you want. You're training it, which is fantastic. So yeah, give it a try, in my opinion, and see how it goes. So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover today. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Adios.